17 years ago, I was engaged to a woman who became pregnant. Now, it's important to understand that I've never wanted to have children, which I'd been upfront and honest about with my fiancée then. She told me that she understood and felt the same way. We both always used protection and agreed to terminate in case of an accident. When she got pregnant, however, she refused to keep her word, and I soon learned that her promises were far less genuine than what she led me to believe. She had stopped taking birth control and purposely sabotaged our protection. Apparently, she believed I'd change my mind if it actually happened. Still, instead, I immediately broke things off, and 6 months later I moved from the East Coast to a new job on the West Coast. As I said, that was 17 years ago, and for the last 17 years, I've absolutely had no contact with her daughter and minimal contact with my ex. I send my child support payments every month, but I've had no interest in ever meeting her. I even requested my ex to not give her any information regarding me or how to contact me. My ex did send a few pictures of her when she was young, but she stopped after I told her I didn't want them. Well, she didn't keep her word again because 2 months ago, I received an actual handwritten letter from her daughter addressed, "Hi, Dad." When I read that, I honestly felt sick to my stomach. I immediately threw the letter away, not even bothering to read the rest of it. I never replied or responded to it. Well, turns out the letter was her heartfelt request to attend her high school graduation. She described in detail how much it would mean to her and told me that she's always been into programming and would be attending one of the top computer science programs in the country for college. I work as a software engineer, or at least I did before I moved up in my company. So apparently, her mother had told her how she must have gotten her talent with computers from me. As I said, I never read the letter, so I didn't know any of this beforehand, but I found the letter in my home office wastebasket, and I've read it now. Since I didn't read the letter initially, I didn't know about the graduation and obviously didn't attend. My ex called me the day of the ceremony and told me I had broken my daughter's heart by not attending, but I obviously had no idea what she was talking about. I told her as much, and she called me a deadbeat and an idiot before hanging up. I got annoyed and vented to one of my friends about the situation, and they said they kind of agreed with my ex. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You made it clear you wanted to be child-free. She took that away from you. You made it clear you wanted no contact with this child she attempted to force on you. She knowingly violated that boundary. Heck, she was just as wrong for telling your kid anything about you. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can't force an unwilling parent to have a relationship with a child they didn't want. Yeah, I feel for the young woman, but OP washed his hands and made his vow on this clear years ago. The mom sounds like a piece of work, lying to OP to try and baby trap him and possibly telling her daughter stories of her deadbeat dad for years. You owe her nothing. I disagree. You were an idiot to the girl. None of this is her fault. And honestly, you should have anticipated this. She's been fed whatever story her mother told her and reached out in the hope she'd be her dad in some way. And her dad totally rejects her. You're an idiot for not attending. There is no reason to see her mother, but you could have read the letter and written back to decline and explain yourself. Your trauma doesn't give you the right to inflict trauma on this girl with no explanation. You can't control what story she gets fed, but the bare kindness to write a letter to explain why you haven't been there is pretty basic. The girl didn't ask to exist and deserves to know how you were victimized, so she understands you're not rejecting her and herself so much as avoiding someone who lied and violated you to create her. It won't heal her, but it may lessen the sting that your existence causes. And that's all you can do, but you should have and still should do it. My husband loves his buddy Steve. I would also love Steve a lot more if he wasn't always trying to give my cat human food when visiting. I've often explained it to him. Steve, do not give her anything. She's only allowed to have cat food. I've had to do this every time he's been in the house with food. Nevertheless, Steve persists. I came home yesterday, and Steve and my husband were throwing darts in the garage. Then they go out and return with some fast food, including a meal for me. I turn my back for one moment to get some plates, and when I turn around, I see Steve offering my cat a piece of garlic bread. I yell at him to stop it, grab his whole meal, and dump it in the trash. He calls me a witch and reaches for my meal. I grab it away and yell at him to get away from my cat until he's learned some manners. They go back out to the garage, and I overhear my husband trying to reason with him a bit, but he's not having it, and he storms out. Steve is angry. The husband understands where I'm at with him, always trying to feed the cat, but he's also annoyed and says I had no right to throw out his meal. I really don't want to see Steve in my house anytime soon, but at the very least, I don't want him there with any food until he learns to keep it to himself. Not the idiot. Garlic is famously poisonous to cats. What the actual heck? I don't know what Steve's problem is, but he should be permanently prohibited from entering your home until he apologizes for the insults and learns how to behave decently and respect the rights of the pet owner. I would include the husband in that decision as well. He's also an idiot for not setting the boundary. The entire thing about the cat is Steve's way of asserting himself over OP. He would be unable to do that if her husband put his foot down. OP, you have a husband problem, and please tell your guy that his not getting involved was the reason you finally had to do what you did. Is he a coward? I agree, and even if it wasn't literally poisonous, and even if human food was okay for cats, and it's not, the fact that Steve called her a witch in their home is crazy. That's a trash word to use against a woman. OP's husband should have shut that crap down immediately. Why does your husband even put up with Steve's behavior? He consistently disrespects you and your home by disobeying a straightforward request. If Steve needs help understanding that he needs to play by your rules in your home, he should never be welcome. Your husband ought to support you in this. I, 25 female, recently started dating my girlfriend, Alexandra, 29, a longtime acquaintance at work. We've been together for only 6 months, but I've truly never been happier. I had to go out with my cousin and ask Alex if she wanted to join me. She happily did. I'm originally Greek, so is my cousin. Sometimes we'd slide in a few words. Somewhere in the conversation, Alex started joining in. It was a moment of shock to me because she never mentioned she spoke Greek before. I was saying pretty basic things with my cousin then, but she'd heard me speak on the phone, curse to myself, and never mentioned that she spoke it. I didn't say anything then, but once I got to my place with Alex, I called her out on it. She said she speaks multiple languages as a hobby, which wasn't a big deal. I made her count. There were 13 that she was fluent in. My point was, as my girlfriend, she should have told me earlier about this, and she heard my conversations around the house and never commented on them. They were mostly about my mom's difficult health situation, and she doesn't want that to be shared. She doesn't even tell my brother. I know because we have a special mother-daughter relationship. Edit. I only ever talked to my mom in Greek in front of Alexandra, mostly in the car while we were both in it. I explained to her that it's something about her health that she's not comfortable with me sharing. Also, my mom can't speak English. Am I the idiot? Sister, I'm a Greek woman and I must tell you, if I found out that my foreign partner spoke Greek, I'd be the happiest person in the world. The only reason you'd be unhappy about this is if you wanted a free pass to lie to her face about conversations you're having around her, or just the ability to crap talk about her to your friends or relatives without her understanding. You are the idiot because it seems that you're angry that you can no longer talk crap around her rather than that you didn't know about this hobby of hers. How did you have a girlfriend for 6 months and not know about her hobbies to know she spoke 13 languages fluently? Did you ever ask if she spoke another language? It seems super suspicious that you get triggered by this. Are you trying to hide things from her and worry she'll find out? Also, never assume that people can't understand you while speaking in front of them, whatever language you use. That's a really naive way to go about life. I, 30 female, and my friend group, females, is in the 27 to 33-year-old range for the most part. For reference, nobody has kids, and the only one dating someone with kids is Kenzie, 33. Kenzie's dating Jared, 35, a single dad with a son, kindergarten, Ned. Ned's mom has addiction issues and isn't really in the picture. I booked my 30th birthday weekend reservations at my favorite hot grill restaurant. I'm splashing out and paying for everyone, including our beer and the 2 cabs there and back from my place. Most are crashing at my place, and some people's partners and friends are picking them up. This was planned months ago. A week ago, Kenzie said Jared was going out of town for a work trip and she'd be watching Ned on my birthday weekend. She asked if she could bring Ned to my birthday. I said no, there's a hot grill, we'll be drinking, enough to need cabs, and I don't want a kid at my 30th. Kenzie said she'll stay sober and pay for Ned's meal, and all I have to do is move the party away from the grill, which I already reserved, to a regular table to keep Ned safe. I still said no. The whole point of the restaurant we're going to is the grill. Kenzie's now blowing up the group chat, saying I'm discriminating against her because of her family status. Fam, Kenzie's been dating Jared for 3 months, and this is not a child-friendly event. Frankly, I'm shocked Jared's trusting his kid to her for the weekend. No shade to Kenzie, but 3 months wouldn't be long enough for me to leave my cat with someone. Am I the idiot for refusing to move my party away from the grill and not allowing Kenzie to bring Ned to my 30th? Not the idiot. Speaking as someone with 4 kids, it's super weird that she wants to bring a kindergartner to a 30-year-old's birthday party, where they know people are going to be drinking excessively. Your friend doesn't have a familial status. She's not a parent. She's the babysitter for her boyfriend, who's a parent. Also, speaking as a parent, it's super weird that they've only been dating for 3 months. Not only has she already met his kid, but he's leaving her alone with him for the weekend? Babysitter with benefits. Her family status after 3 months of dating? Just yikes. Is she usually this delusional? Don't change a thing. Stick to your guns, your adults-only party, your rules. Literally. You'll find out that Kenzie isn't really a friend, and maybe that's a really good thing to find out now. Wowza. OP, it's your birthday party. You can do whatever you want on it. You only turn 30 once. If your friend can't make it because she's babysitting, that's on her. That's not your issue. You do not have to bend to someone else's rules on your day of celebration. I hope you have a wonderful time. Drink lots of water and stay safe. My son Daniel, 28, has been married to Kathy, 28, for 4 years now, and they have 2 children. I have a younger daughter, Leah, 25, who's a single mom to Travis, pre-tween. Travis is autistic and has a lot of sensory issues. He receives therapies, but it's still a struggle. Everyone knows about his triggers and what we do to avoid them. While I've tried to be welcoming of Kathy, she's always been a little cold. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, as we are a very loud, extroverted family, and she's introverted. She has yet to make an effort to get to know us, despite our numerous attempts. Daniel has told us that her family is a lot different and isn't as warm, so we accept her personality. The only issue is, she's over it. I said it would be okay. I'd just make sure Travis didn't pick that gift, and we'd tell whoever did pick it to please not press play. One person opened it. Travis saw it and instantly got on edge, but the person promised they wouldn't play it, and he calmed down. When it was Kathy's turn, she stole it. If you've never done a swap before, the point of the game is you either pick a new gift or steal someone else's if you like it better. She was sitting next to Travis at the time and pressed play. He had a meltdown and had to be brought out of the room. Kathy was laughing. I took her out of the room and asked her why she'd do that. She said it was just a joke, and she thought we were exaggerating. She then accused us of purposefully making Travis scared of things. We have no reason for doing this. Trust me, for his mental health, we wish these things didn't trigger him, but they do. I asked why it was so hard for her to accommodate her nephew. That's when she said that Travis soaks up all the attention, and it's not fair that Leah had a kid before them. She and Daniel then promptly left. While Daniel has apologized on behalf of Kathy, she's refused to do so. We've tried holding family meetings, but she won't attend. Leah has seen Daniel and his kids since, but won't see Kathy. After a few months of back and forth with Kathy, making it clear she wouldn't apologize, my husband and I decided Kathy's not welcome in our home until she does and is ready to treat Travis right. We'll still see them, but not in our home. Kathy and Daniel have found this unfair. They refuse to meet up for Mother's Day and won't come to Father's Day brunch, which is their choice, but they've made it clear that they only made it because we've excluded Kathy from events in our home. Am I the idiot? Edit. Leah got pregnant young. It wasn't planned. She and the father married after the fact, but he sadly passed when Travis was 2. That's when Leah moved back in with my husband and me. When Leah got pregnant, Kathy and Daniel were dating then, with serious plans to marry. Kathy said she was a little disappointed that they wouldn't be the ones to give us our first grandchild, as they were older, but we thought she'd gotten over it. Not the idiot. When it was Kathy's turn, she stole it and pressed play. This is a crucial point for me. She did this deliberately, even though she knew not to. Her lack of remorse afterward suggests that she would do something equally unpleasant again. Her behavior as an adult baffles me. I have a sister-in-law like this. For some reason, she always has to fight with my son. She's been this way since he was a toddler. He might be playing or watching TV, and she'll just come up and grab his toys away, or tell him how dumb his TV show is. She's in her 30s, by the way. We only see her once or twice a year because of this. Might I suggest never seeing her again? Your kids don't deserve to be bullied by an adult, even once a year. OP, Leah and Travis have been through enough. Purposely triggering an autistic kid because you're jealous of the attention he's getting is a 100% idiot move, and you should definitely hold firm on getting an apology directly from her to you and your daughter and grandson before she's allowed back. I'm sorry that this means you'll have a strained relationship with your son, but this is Kathy's fault. Kathy sounds like a child. It's not fair Leah had a kid first. What in the actual heck? She's absolutely jealous of Leah because she had the first grandbaby, and she's still not over it. Kathy needs counseling, and your son likely needs it too, so we can understand why he'd defend Kathy.